Okay, so the next step after using Tinkercad is we're going to use a program called Illustrator. And I'm just going to scroll over a little bit to show you the end result of what we're going to do. So here's the example from Tinkercad. So we created a shape, making sure that there were everything was connected and there were some areas for holes. And it was exported as an SVG file. This is a cut project. So the outer circle was cut, the inner circle was cut, and a name was cut. Here's another cut project. And in this example, instead of cutting out the heart, we engraved the heart. So how do we do that? Looking at the file, and I'll show you how to create this, I've created some circles that are cut. And anything that is red is cut, and anything that will be engraved is going to be blue. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. When you get into Illustrator, it will look something like this with a couple different types of files. I'd like you to choose letter. If you don't see it, you can click on New File and choose letter as your size. And that will give you a standard piece of paper sized drawing area. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to create a circle to cut. We're going to have a circle to hang the item from, and then we're going to put in an object. So in the toolbar on the left, there's a bunch of tools. The tool that you want to keep returning to is the selection tool. But we're going to start with going to the shape tool. Notice if I just hold my pointer over it, it tells me it's the rectangle tool. I can right click on it and change it to an ellipse. If I just click and drag, it's going to create an egg shape, an oval, something that's not a perfect circle. If I want a perfect circle, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click and drag. And we're looking for something, I guess, about 135 points wide and 135 points tall. Okay, notice that my pointer is still set up to draw another circle. So I would go to the Select tool to turn that off. And now I can move my circle. Let's create another circle. So again, I'm going to go to the Shape tool. It's already set up as an ellipse. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to draw a smaller circle. Okay, go back to the Select to turn off your selection. Now this isn't exactly centered, and I did that on purpose so I can show you how to center. If you click and drag around both objects and you go to Object, Align, you're going to want to align it horizontally in the center. Okay, and now it's aligned. If I want to move this up a little, I can, and I'm just using my arrow key to move it up a little. And now I have my circles that are going to be cut. The Glowforge requires you to use different colors for cut and engrave. So we're going to make sure we have the selection tool selected, and we're going to click on this outer circle. And down here, you can look at the fill or the stroke. The fill is the inside color, and the stroke is the outline. So I'm going to hit this little arrow to bring the stroke to the forefront. Okay, when I do that, I'm going to go to my colors and I'm going to choose a red for cut. Oops, it looks like I have that backwards. So I want to choose a red for cut. Let's see if I click off of it. All right, I have my fill color is red. I don't want it red. I want my fill color white. So let's make my fill color white. Oh, and my outline color is red. Sorry about the confusion. So let's do that again with this inner circle. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to change it so that the outline is at the forefront. So it needs to be in front. Okay, and I'm going to choose red to cut that. Okay, and now I have two circles that are going to be cut out. Now, perhaps I want to put an initial or a name. If I choose the text tool and I click and drag, I can create text. It's going to give you a default text. We're going to change that right away. And I'm going to put in the name Milo. Okay, if I double click on that, I'm going to come over to the right hand side where I have some size information for my font. So let's try making it 60. Okay, I can also choose a different font if I would like, and it kind of gives you a preview of what the fonts are going to look like. Don't worry if you choose a font and it gets too big. We can easily change that and clicking and dragging on that object to make it a little bit wider. Okay, once I have it, and change my font size to, why doesn't it not want to change my font size? Oh, I'm on the wrong place, that's right. Okay, that's still too big. Okay, and then I can choose the selection tool and move that text here. Okay, I can place it and align it, or I can eyeball it. And again, I'm going to choose my object. I want to look at the stroke color, so the outline color, and I'm going to choose red. And what it will do is it will cut out wherever it sees red. Once you've done that, you're going to come into File and you're going to choose Save As. We're going to change the type of file to a PDF because we know that the Glowforge recognizes a PDF very easily, and you're going to name it. You're going to name it with your last name, okay? And then you can say name or whatever you want to call it. Make sure when you save it, it's going to the downloads folder so you can find it later. Okay, so you'll save it. You'll save it as a PDF. And then you will send me the file. I'll put it on the Glowforge and it will create a beautiful cutout file, something like what we saw before over here, like this.